Hey guys, I just wanted to jump on here real quick and talk about a subject that I've been thinking about all week. And to be honest with you, it's taken me about a week to get on here and really do a video about this because it's a pretty tough subject in my life that I had to kind of come to grips with before I actually did the video to teach you guys about it and stuff. So today I want to talk about what the difference between judgment and discernment. So judgment is when you have a very, very strong opinion that's negative about something or someone. And discernment is just understanding that everything exists, and there's different level of consciousness, and some people make choices that are not at a higher level of consciousness, and some people make lower choices that are at a lower level of consciousness. And so I really want to talk about how judgment is direct connection to something that's blocking you in your life, right? So what is blocking you in your life is what the first question I want to ask you is, what is blocking you in your life? And if there's a specific block in your life, I want you to think about how you feel about it, and think about how you feel and think about the judgment behind it. And now here's the big thing, is that a lot of the time judgment comes with an attachment to something. Right? So if you're attached to a situation that happened when you were a child, or you're attached to an emotion, like judgment always is connected to shame and anger. So I want you to think about how in your life that's causing you shame or anger, and then go back, and if you're judging a person, or if you're judging a situation, or if you're judging even a circumstance, or if you have judging about money, or your judgments about money, or judging about being married, or judging about relationships, or judging about people, there is a direct correlation to something going on within you. And I know that's really hard to hear, because it's like, wait, no, I don't act like that person, but the reality is that nothing ever shows up in your life unless it's there to teach you, right? And so every relationship in our life, everything, whether it's a relationship with money, whether it's a relationship with people, whether it's a relationship with circumstance, it's there to teach you. And so if you have a judgment around something or somebody, it truly is just showing you something deeper within you. And so I promise you guys that if you do the inner work and you go really, really deep with the judgment, and this one's going to be a hard thing for most people to hear, because again, discernment is just separating yourselves from the emotions and understanding the different levels of consciousness and saying that this person is at a different level of consciousness. But when you're vibrating at a very high vibration, you can do that. When you're not vibrating at a high vibration and you're in super shame or guilt or anger, you're always going to reflect it onto somebody else and put the judgment onto them. But really, the judgment is only there to teach you. So I want you to think about something today. I want you to think about how in your life you could just today, for one day, start with one day, and then do it every day for the next 30 days. But think about how you judge something. And then every time that judgment comes up, I want you to stop and feel the feeling of either anger or shame. And then you go even deeper and say, well, where do I have this anger or shame in my life? And what has happened in my life that I either need to heal, or what am I doing in this life that it needs to be healed, right? And so the greatest thing about emotions, guys, is that we always can learn from them. And so if we stop and we use emotions as our guidance system, as opposed to, just ruling our life, it's really amazing, because it really is very different. So there was a couple subjects this week that I had to stop and say, oh my gosh, I'm actually judging that person. I'm not like letting them live their journey, and everybody has their own journey. And of course there's very bad things that happen in this world. But again, it's the stories that we put behind and it's not our job to judge anybody or do anything in any way, shape, or form. It's their journey, and that's their souls and their journey, and they get to figure that out on their own. But we don't have to attach ourselves to that. Now, this is going to be a really hard message for a lot of people, because a lot of people are not going to take the opportunity and look within and see where they have that judgment within themselves. And so I just want to make a challenge for you today. If you could just do this one thing and stop and ask yourself, where am I judging a person or a situation or a circumstance, and how can I be different in that area? And I guarantee if you're blocked in any area in your life, there's judgment attached to it. And so I remove blocks, you know, that's what I do for a living. But guys, I promise you that if you look deeper into judgment and you look from a side of consciousness, you look from a side of love, you look from a side of higher vibration, I promise you'll have a different opinion about it. I'm sending you lots of love and blessings and hope you have an amazing, amazing night.